End of an era. Assad regime falls in Syria. The Syrian government has fallen. After 50 years, the rule of the Assad family has come to an end. This dramatic turn of events occurred on Sunday, December 8, 2024. Rebel forces launched a swift and decisive offensive, taking control of the country. The offensive reached the capital city of Damascus, signaling the collapse of Bashar al-Assad's regime. This marks a pivotal moment in Syria's history. The country has been embroiled in a brutal civil war for over a decade. The conflict has resulted in a devastating humanitarian crisis, displacing millions of people. The fall of the Assad regime brings both hope and uncertainty for the future of Syria. The international community is closely watching the situation. Many questions remain unanswered. What will happen next in Syria? What will be the fate of Bashar al-Assad? How will this impact the region? The world waits to see what will emerge from the ashes of the Assad regime. The Syrian people, who have endured so much suffering, hope for a brighter future. Only time will tell what the next chapter holds for this troubled nation. Swift offensive leads to regime's collapse. The rebel offensive began on November 27, 2024. It was a coordinated and strategic campaign. Rebels quickly captured key cities across Syria. Aleppo, a major city in the north, fell to the rebels early in the offensive. This victory provided the rebels with a strategic advantage. Homs, a city of significant strategic importance, was also captured. Its location connected Damascus to the northern coast. With Homs under their control, the rebels cut off a vital supply line for the Syrian government. The offensive gained momentum as the rebels advanced from multiple directions. They pushed from the north, south, and east, encircling Damascus. Within days, the rebels reached the outskirts of Damascus. They were within 5 miles of the city center. The fall of the Saidnaya military prison marked a turning point. This notorious prison, known for its brutal conditions, was a symbol of the Assad regime's oppression. The capture of the prison demoralized government forces. The rebels met little resistance as they entered Damascus. The Syrian government, once seemingly invincible, crumbled in a matter of days. The speed and efficiency of the rebel offensive shocked many observers. The fate of a president. Assad's whereabouts unknown. As rebel forces closed in on Damascus, the fate of President Bashar al-Assad remained unclear. Rumors and speculation swirled about his whereabouts. Some reports suggested he was in hiding, while others claimed he had fled the country. On December 8, 2024, Syrian state television aired a pre-recorded video statement. It showed a group of men in military uniform. They announced that Assad had been overthrown. The men claimed to represent the Syrian military. However, their identities and ranks remained unverified. The statement also declared the release of all detainees from government prisons. This news sparked both celebration and chaos in cities across Syria. People rushed to prisons, hoping to find missing loved ones. The whereabouts of Bashar al-Assad remain unknown. Some speculate that he fled to Russia or Iran, both countries with close ties to the former Syrian regime. Others believe he may still be in hiding within Syria. The mystery surrounding Assad's fate adds to the uncertainty of the situation. The Syrian people are left wondering about the implications of his potential capture or escape. Architects of the uprising rebel groups and their leaders. The rebel offensive that toppled the Assad regime was a collaborative effort. Several different groups played a role in the uprising. Each group had its own motivations and ideologies, but they united under the common goal of ending Assad's rule. Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, formerly affiliated with al-Qaeda, was a major force in the offensive. HTS is a jihadist group that seeks to establish an Islamic state in Syria. Its leader, Abu Muhammad al-Golani, also known as Ahmed al-Shara, played a crucial role in coordinating the offensive. The Syrian National Army, or SNA, was another key player in the uprising. The SNA is a loose coalition of armed groups opposed to the Assad regime. It is largely composed of former Syrian army soldiers who defected during the civil war. The SNA received support from Turkey, which provided them with weapons and training. The Free Syrian Army, a group that emerged in the early days of the Syrian uprising, also participated in the offensive. However, the FSA has been weakened in recent years due to internal divisions and a lack of support from international backers. The success of the rebel offensive highlights the complex and fragmented nature of the Syrian conflict. Various groups, with different ideologies and agendas, came together to overthrow the Assad regime. As rebel forces entered Damascus, the Syrian government's grip on power finally slipped away. Prime Minister Mohammed Ghazi Jalali, in a last-ditch effort to salvage the situation, made a dramatic announcement. He declared the government's willingness to transfer power to a transitional government. Jalali urged citizens to remain calm and protect public property. He appealed for a peaceful transition of power. However, his pleas were met with celebrations and gunfire in the streets of Damascus. The city, once a symbol of Assad's power, descended into chaos. Key government sites were abandoned, and officials fled their posts. The Damascus airport, a vital transportation hub, was evacuated. All flights were halted, cutting off the city from the outside world. Residents reported scenes of both jubilation and fear. While many celebrated the end of Assad's rule, others worried about the future. The sudden collapse of the government left a vacuum of power, raising concerns about potential lawlessness and violence. The fall of Damascus marked the definitive end of the Assad regime. It signified the beginning of a new chapter in Syria's history, one filled with both promise and uncertainty. Section 6. World reacts to the fall of the Assad regime. The fall of the Assad regime sent shockwaves across the globe. International reactions varied. Some leaders expressed cautious optimism, while others emphasized the need for stability and a peaceful transition. President Biden urged restraint and preventing a resurgence of ISIS. President-elect Trump advised against further U.S. involvement. Turkish President Erdogan expressed hope for peace and pledged support for rebuilding Syria. Israeli Prime Minister Bennett expressed concern about Iran's influence. Russia called for a peaceful resolution, but its future role is unclear. The UN scrambled to respond, with Special Envoy Pedersen calling for urgent talks in Geneva. Section 7. Regional aftershocks, implications of a new Syria. The fall of the Assad regime has sent ripples of uncertainty across the Middle East. The power vacuum in Syria has the potential to reshape regional alliances and reignite old conflicts. Iran, a key backer of the Assad regime, finds itself in a weakened position. Iranian forces, already stretched thin due to ongoing conflicts with Israel, are facing increasing pressure in Syria. Hezbollah, the Iranian-backed militia, has also suffered losses in recent clashes with Israeli forces. The Syrian Democratic Forces, SDF, a Kurdish-led group that controlled parts of northeastern Syria, have seized the opportunity to expand their territory. The SDF captured parts of Deir el-Zur, a strategically important province rich in oil, further diminishing Iran's influence in the region. Qatar, a vocal critic of the Assad regime, welcomed its demise. Qatari officials called for a new era of peace and stability in Syria. However, Qatar's role in shaping the future of Syria remains to be seen. The influx of refugees fleeing the fighting in Syria has also strained neighboring countries. Thousands of Syrians have attempted to cross the border into Lebanon, overwhelming Lebanese authorities. The Lebanese government was forced to close its border with Syria to stem the flow of refugees. Section 8. A nation at a crossroads. The uncertain future of Syria. The fall of the Assad regime marks a pivotal moment in Syria's history. After decades of authoritarian rule, the country now faces an uncertain future. The path ahead is fraught with challenges. Establishing security and stability is crucial. The power vacuum could lead to further violence. The international community must prevent a resurgence of extremist groups. The humanitarian crisis is another major challenge. Millions have been displaced by the civil war. The country's infrastructure and economy are in ruins. Rebuilding Syria will require a massive international effort. The political future of Syria is also uncertain. Rebel groups have different visions for the country's future. The international community must ensure a peaceful transition. The fall of the Assad regime offers hope for the Syrian people. But the road to peace and stability will be long and difficult. The international community must remain committed to supporting Syria. Section 9. Stay informed. The story continues. The situation in Syria is fluid and rapidly evolving. New developments are unfolding daily. It is crucial to stay informed about the latest events in this critical region. CNN is committed to providing comprehensive coverage of the situation in Syria. Our team of reporters and analysts is working around the clock to bring you the most accurate and up-to-date information. We encourage you to stay tuned to CNN for the latest news, analysis, and perspectives on the unfolding situation in Syria. This is a story that will continue to shape the Middle East and the world for years to come. For the most up-to-date information, please visit our website at cnn.com or download the CNN app on your mobile device. You can also follow us on social media for breaking news alerts and in-depth analysis.